Welcome back to another hockey psychology video. Today's video, we're going to be breaking down exactly how Cale Makar dominated the NHL playoffs this year.
Makar puts it up. Score! What a play by Cale Makar! He does it again!
So not since Bobby Orr or Nicklas Lidstrom have we seen a defender like this take the league by storm. You saw it last year with his Calder Trophy season, and now this year with a Conn Smythe, a Norris Trophy, and of course, a Stanley Cup. Now what makes Makar so special is not only his skating and his physical traits as a player, but also his ability to combine his physical traits and his physical skills with the mental side of the game and his hockey IQ. So in this video, we're gonna be breaking down both aspects and how he did exactly this throughout this entire playoff run. And first, we're gonna start with Cale Makar's skating. So let's start with Makar's skating, which is his bread and butter. You have an example here of a forechecker. He uses a quick escape and his edge work to basically reset the play and start the transition the other way. Now, this is what I love about Makar. He attacks the middle of the ice on the rush. You'll see 5 predators are around him, but again, it's that awareness to attack the middle of the ice and get a decent opportunity there. This play is one of my favorites from the playoffs. It's the one-on-one play against McDavid where he just takes the angle, keeps up with him, maintains speed with McDavid while going backwards and gets an easy poke check on him there. And almost every defenseman in the league gets overwhelmed with McDavid because they can't keep up with him and his speed. But in this example, he just takes the angle, stays between the dots, and makes sure that McDavid doesn't have the middle of the ice, and it ends up being a pretty significant stop for Colorado. Then again, we have another clip very similar to the first one where he's using his speed on the transition to basically initiate the play and gain the offensive zone. You'll see here 2 Blues are forcing Makar out wide, and if you aren't the skater that Makar is, this play is usually dead, but he backs up that second defender, goes around the net, feels the pressure start to close in, makes a quick stop up, and makes a nice pass to the blue line for a good opportunity. Then you have another example here of Makar just knifing through the other team's neutral zone forecheck. You'll see they're already set up in a 1-2-2 and they're trying to force Makar to the outside, but because he's such a dynamic skater, he can sift by these checks and get a good shot on net. Now the next example is him using his skating to basically evade a forecheck who's right on him. He's going into the corner, and then from here he actually accelerates a rush play, which is insane to think about because a lot of defenders in that position, they get nervous with the forechecker being on their back like that. One of the hardest things for a defender to do is to pick up a puck when there's a forechecker breathing down their neck like that. Makar does it, starts a rush the other way, and again, it's a good rush chance and a good shot on goal. So in today's NHL, as you can see, the NHL values so much a defenseman who can not only break the puck out with a good first pass, but if they can use their legs to beat an F1 and even an F2, then they're extremely valuable to their team. And with Cale Makar, he is a special talent and he can use his legs to pretty much beat anyone on the ice. And as we saw in those breakdowns, he can sift through neutral zone forechecks and create rush opportunities going for the Colorado Avalanche with just his speed. Now, what makes Makar so special, not only this season and in this playoff run, but also in general, is his ability to take those raw physical skills and use it and combine it with his ability to read plays and his hockey IQ. There's so many players in the league that can skate like the wind, that have a fantastic shot, that have all the raw skills, but they don't know how to apply it in the right manner. Cale Makar in this playoff run was unstoppable, and the way that he was reading off plays and anticipating certain things was something that we haven't seen since, again, Nick Lidstrom or Bobby Orr. The second thing that allowed Cale Makar to dominate in this playoff run was his hockey IQ. So here's an example of Makar understanding his opponents, the forecheck, and where they're anticipating the next play going. So Makar anticipates Perron to read this reverse play over to Makar's D partner, Devon Taves. So he's going to use a subtle fake to get Perron to bite, and then he's just going to burn him with speed and start the rush the other way. Just these little things like that to understand just how good Makar is at reading certain plays and how he combines his hockey IQ with his skating. Here you have a neutral zone read by Makar where the Nashville Predators defenseman throws it up the middle of the ice. Makar anticipates that coming off a line change, and again, uses his skating to start the rush the other way, and it ends up being a pretty good chance. Now this next one's tough because you can't see the full play develop, but basically it's just a nice step up from Makar on the blue line to understand that Kane on the half wall there is flat-footed, reads the forecheck, and is able to intercept the pass and get a nice shot off. Then again, here's another play on Edmonton's other superstar, Leon Draisaitl. It's a rush the other way, 2-on-2, but Makar is the back trailer here. He just closes off space, uses the body on Leon Draisaitl, and then initiates the breakout all in one play. Then just another example of him in these playoffs anticipating plays. You'll see this Predator player is about to lose this puck at the blue line. Makar is already anticipating this and getting his momentum moving forward. You'll see the loose puck comes out and he starts a rush the other way. All of a sudden you have a 2-on-2 rush with Makar. The results with a good chance and a good shot on goal. But it's basically his ability to take his raw skills, his raw skating, his ability to replays and put it all in one package that makes him such a special player and such a dominant player in this playoff run. So as you can see from a defensive perspective, Makar is off the charts in terms of reading plays, anticipating turnovers, and creating rush chances by just simply understanding where the puck is going to be and where he needs to be to intercept a pass or create a play for his team going the other way. Now, if you saw all those clips and you watched the entire video, you might notice that not a lot of them produced goals. And that's on purpose because, a lot of the plays that are broken down anywhere, maybe on Sportsnet, TSN, whatever it may be, they always show the goal and what transpired because of what they did in a particular play. But I think it's important for players and coaches to see what happens when things don't exactly result into a goal. And that's where you see the true colors of a lot of players. For Makar, there's so many instances where he jumps up in a play, makes a play in his own end, breaks out the play with his feet or with his skating ability, and it doesn't exactly result in a goal, but it does result in a fantastic opportunity for Colorado to score. But I wanted to point out the little things that Makar does so well that allowed him to dominate for a full 60 minutes each and every game, if not more if it went into overtime. I think the biggest debate in hockey is if Cale Makar is officially the king of the NHL. I mean, you look at his accomplishments, he won a Conn Smythe, won a Norris, won the Stanley Cup, and he is the cream of the crop right now in terms of one of the best players in the NHL. And I do think the narrative would be different if McDavid actually won in the third round or even didn't get swept. Because if you look at McDavid's stats, he still won the playoff scoring with 33 points. Cale Makar finished with 29. Both different positions, one's a defender, one's a centerman. They impact the game in two different ways. But I think as a defender and the ability to skate the puck out and start the rush for your team in your own end is so important in today's NHL, because if you can get that extra player to join the rush, it gives you an advantage. So right now, in my opinion, Cale Makar is the best player on the planet, bar none. But if you say Connor McDavid, I can't argue with you because he's still just a beast. I want to know what you think down below. Who is the king of the NHL? Cale Makar or Connor McDavid? If you like this video, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Find a Cale Makar somewhere.